Our next presenters will be sharing information with you about the FTD Disorders Registry, which I hope you'll all consider joining as part of empowering yourself and your families to help drive the research that will bring about an end to FTD. Dianna Wheaton joins the field of FTD research as director of the FTD Disorders Registry in January 2016. As registry director, she manages the registry's daily operations, working directly with persons diagnosed with FTD and their families, and leading outreach efforts to the lay and health professional communities. She assists clinicians, other researchers, and organizations interested in using the registry to answer important research questions and to support clinical trials. Dianna is being joined by Lakecia Vincent, the registry's manager. She's a former health education specialist for the University of Arkansas, who joined the organization in early 2020. Dianna and Lakecia, we're grateful to have you both with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening. Of course, I'm Dianna, director of the registry, and I'd like to take this opportunity to briefly introduce you to the rest of the registry's very talented and dedicated staff. Of course, Lakecia, our registry manager, will be providing a detailed overview of the registry in just a moment. Swetha, our project manager, all FTD liaison, Sherry, our communications manager, and Kevin, our IT administrator, round out our team. While the staff works hard to keep the online FTD registry functional, it is truly our registry participants who are at the heart of our efforts and that drive the process to advance the science to find treatments and cures for FTD by sharing their story through the registry. Lakecia, please tell us more.
Thank you, Dianna. Good morning. I am excited to be a part of the World FTD Marathon. Today, I'm going to talk to you about FTD Disorders Registry and give an overview of our contact and research registration process. The FTD Disorders Registry was found in March of 2015 with the mission to facilitate and advance research into the spectrum of FTD disorders. The primary goal of the registry is to serve as a resource to the FTD disorders community, including persons diagnosed, their families, caregivers, and researchers. The registry launched to the public in March of 2017 and continued to be a go-to resource for the FTD community. What is a patient registry? A registry is a collection of information about individuals, usually focused around a specific diagnosis or condition. A registry can come in many varieties. A registry is often categorized as contact or research registry. A contact registry is the simplest of the two. It collects basic and demographic contact information. A registry should not be confused with an email list. The information collected is used to determine inclusion and exclusion criteria for research studies. A research registry can be more complex, and it also has many varieties. It can be clinical-centric, which collect medical records-derived data. The information in a research registry is entered by the clinical staff. Therefore, a clinician or researcher is an expert in the research registry. A patient-centric registry allows the participant to be an expert. A patient, caregiver, or family member enters descriptive data that tells the impact of a disease on a patient or their family. Both contact and research registries monitor a disease over time and document the changes. They help determine the natural progression of a disease. Information gathered from contact and research registries gather new ideas and questions that should be asked which can be used as a measure in a future study. The FTD Disorders Registry is designed to bring together the FTD community. To achieve our mission, the registry provides a secure online database. The database was created to be a home of all individuals who are wanting to participate in FTD research. The registry creates a special community where participants can share their unique story. Each story helps us to better understand FTD and support the development of new treatments. This concept is truly critical because no single clinical site has a large enough population to fill a research study or clinical trial enrollment. The registry will function as an information repository for FTD, a place to gather and aggregate data. The registry is committed to research using the data to advance the science. Wherever you are on your FTD journey, you do not have to face it alone. The resources to learn more about FTD and find support are increasing. As a result, the registry recently updated and expanded the FTD resources section of our website. Here you see a snapshot of our public webpage. In the 5th tab, which is labeled FTD Disorders Resources, is the home of many support tools. The FTD resource page is a frequently accessed page on the registry website after people join. What is FTD is a common question asked by those affected by FTD. The registry's expanded resources answer this question and many more in a patient-friendly manner. The resource page is organized by topic and offer assistance to those living with FTD, their families, and caregivers. As a visitor of the resource page, you can locate a specialist to help cope with FTD. Caregivers can utilize the page to find support groups and connect with others in similar roles. The registry support research by listing current FTD clinical trials on the resource page. For those who choose to participate, you can use the Find a Study link to learn more about research opportunities. The first question you may ask is, why join? Is there a benefit to you? Is there a benefit to science? Is there a benefit to others? And that answer is yes. Your unique experience can improve our knowledge of FTD, impact the standard of care, and help others. By agreeing to participate in research surveys, you, the participant, will be providing data to help advance the science. And the registry will be a go-to site to recruit for FTD clinical trials. Now let's take a closer look at some of the key sections of the homepage. First and foremost, we want you to know, in the world of FTD, every story advances the science, starting with yours. Working together, we can make a difference. Your next question may be, who can join? Participation in the FTD registry is open to the entire spectrum of FTD disorders. That means a person diagnosed with any of the FTD disorders listed here is eligible to participate. Current or former caregivers of diagnosed persons can be a participant of the registry. Lastly, Family members and friends can also join the registry and share their story. Simply put, everyone's voice and perspective are valuable to us. After determining your reason to join, you may want to know, how can I join? This is a step-by-step model of the registration process. We will take a closer look at each step to determine what is required. The first step is to select an enrollment category. Signing up is easy. You can click any of the join buttons throughout the website, or you can select one of the 3 categories shown on this page. We have a category of enrollment for persons diagnosed with FTD. They can choose to enroll themselves or with the help of a caregiver. Either way is fine. We also have a category for biological family members who can share the impact of FTD from their perspective. You should also notice a category for spouse and caregivers. They also have the opportunity to share their story and share information about FTD diagnosed loved ones. It is important to remember biological family members and spouse caregivers can participate even if their FTD diagnosed loved one no longer can. The next step is to provide basic demographic and contact information to join the registry as a US, Canada, or international participant. Join means sharing your name and email address so we can contact you. All participants who join will provide their name, email address, zip code, and year of birth. This basic information allows you to join the registry and have access to our e-newsletters, our study announcements, and FTD updates. If you join the registry as a US or Canadian contact, you have the opportunity to continue and register for research. The 3 highlighted tabs shown here are the steps to take to complete that registration. Here are the 3 steps with more detail. Research participation is optional. However, we encourage everyone to participate if they are eligible. The key eligibility requirements are at least 18 years of age and a US or Canadian resident. At this time, the Canadian provinces, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, and Labrador are not eligible to participate in research. Step 1, when creating a username, it can be an email address or other unique name. If more than one account is created in a household, the usernames must be unique. For example, 2 individuals from the same household can enter the same email address for communication purposes. However, both individuals may not use the same email address as their username. Step 2, the consent form will detail the type of research that the registry does and your rights as a participant. You will answer a series of questions to indicate that you understand the concept of participating in research. You will also provide your signature in the appropriate box and submit your consent form. Step 3, this is when you are assigned a GUID. You will enter your personal information such as a date of birth, legal name, city, and country of birth. Once the information is validated, a GUID is assigned and you are ready to participate in research. It is important to remember the research participant is the person who represents the category you select. For example, a category 1 is select. If a category 1 is selected, the research participant is the FTD diagnosed person. A category 2 selection means the biological family member is the research participant. A confirmation email is sent to all participants who complete the registration. After completing the research registration, you will have access to targeted study information and surveys. Now I will highlight the dashboard tools that let you share your story and advance the science. An email is sent to all research registrants, letting them know their dashboard is activated. Account activation allows access to your participant dashboard where you can participate in registry surveys. The FTD Registry created 3 intake surveys. The demographic survey collects basic information such as diagnosis, gender, race, and geographical location. The research readiness surveys measure the registrant's willingness to participate in research study. The disease impact survey collects data on the impact of the disease on the FTD diagnosed family and the FTD diagnosed person and their family. It is very important that research registrants complete all 3 of the FTD disorders surveys. This information helps to complete your research registry profile and will help us provide targeted study information. Additional research surveys can be added to your profile. The registry often partners with researchers of other FTD studies. As a result, the registry assists in collecting data that will help facilitate their research. If you are a contact registrant and ready to join research, the highlighted tabs are the steps you will take. Now I will provide information for converting your contact account to research. The participant login page gives you access to check your registration status and get back into your account. Once you have entered the required information, a link will be sent to your email address. You can follow the link to reset your password, complete the registration, or convert to a research account. If you know your username and password, you can simply log into your registry account. This will allow you to complete step 2 and 3 of the research registration process. Remember, step 2 and 3 consist of signing the consent form and entering global unique identifier information. At this time, account conversions from contact to research are limited to US and Canadian residents. Currently, there are 3,855 participants enrolled in the registry across the 3 categories shown here. Of the current enrollees, 44% have made the decision to participate in research. Canada, UK, and Australia are the largest international contributors. This map shows a distribution of the registered participants throughout the United States. As you can see, we have participants from all over who have joined the registry to share their story. Data privacy and confidentiality are our utmost concern. The registry has a HIPAA-compliant database, including software, integration, data storage, and web hosting. The registry has taken numerous steps to protect not only data integrity, but more importantly, your privacy. One protective measure is to de-identify your data. This means each registrant's personal identifier information is masked with a GUID. The registered director is the sole person with access to your personal information for the purpose of maintaining your account. Only aggregate de-identified data will be shared with the public via the registry's website, scientific publications, presentations, or newsletters. Third-party access, such as requests from researchers or industry, is also strictly limited to de-identified data. What can we do with the data? Data collected by the registry provides a clear picture of the impact of FTD from a participant's perspective. It can help us to ask better questions and drive new hypotheses. Data can also be used to assess research study and clinical trial feasibility, which can assist in facilitating recruitment. In addition, data helps to raise awareness, advance science, and facilitate advocacy throughout the FTD community. This is vital in building partnerships that makes the registry a resource for all. This concludes the overview of the FTD Disorders Registry. The key message today is every story advances the science. I hope we get a chance to hear yours. At this time, we will take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Lakecia. That was wonderful. And maybe if both you and Dianna will turn your cameras on, we can see each other while we address some of the questions from the audience. The first question we have is around who can participate. And the person says, is the patient participating, or can the primary caregiver do the input? In this specific instance, it looks like the person who is diagnosed lacks insight and so wouldn't be able to participate on their own behalf.
Okay, so participation for a FTD diagnosed person, there is an option for them to do it on their own or with the help of a care partner. To participate in research, they will need to be capable of verbally giving answers to the research questions. So even if the care partner is going to complete input the information that they are given, that is fine. As long as they can give the verbal answer to the questions, then they are still able to participate.
But as we saw in your pie chart, there's obviously a role for family members, for people at risk, and for the partners to answer on their own behalf as well, right?
Yes, in the event that the FTD diagnosed person cannot verbally give answers and cannot participate, then there are options for the biological family members or caregivers to participate and answer the questions from their perspective. And we also kind of utilize that information to kind of tell what's really going on with the FTD diagnosed person.
Great, great. As your motto says, every story counts, and it's from every perspective.
Yes.
We know a lot. It's the family that really experiences this disease more than the individuals themselves. So
yes, absolutely.
Dianna, I was struck that I think it's about 44% of registrants currently have taken that extra step to register to conduct to participate in research. And I know that we welcome anybody who wants to be a contact participant, because that's a great way for them to stay involved and informed with the research that's available. But we really encourage people to take that extra step and register as a research participant, because that's the way they can help us advance information and knowledge and building toward clinical trials. Do you want to say a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. We do realize that not everyone is going to be capable of fully participating as a research registrant, either because they have some capacity issues, but for the most part, we really want people to be able to complete the surveys and provide their insight. And to that end, we try to identify for those individuals who have only registered as contact participants what the barrier is to their ability to participate in research through the registry, and then try to address those barriers either through education or other means so that they understand what their value is that they can contribute.
That's great. And I know that the registry started being contacted by different biopharma companies who are interested in understanding FTD more, or perhaps, as Dr. Grossman referred to in an earlier session, in a couple sessions from now, we're going to be hearing from Dr. Adam Boxer about the clinical trials that we are starting to see conducted here. Could one of you just comment on how the registry participates with companies in that way?
Dianna, I think you can provide a little more insight on that.
Okay, thank you. So yes, we have several ways that we try to partner with the biotech and pharmaceutical companies. And one of those ways is by encouraging them to list their study on the registry website. And so we will take their detailed information about what the criteria is for their study and develop very patient-friendly outreach so that people can more clearly understand what the trial's about and what their participation would actually entail. And then through multiple different channels, distribute that information to help drive enrollment for those studies. So that's one key way that we work with biotech pharma. But we can also do survey data collection if a company wants to gather insight on the community in advance of doing a trial. We can do a pre-trial survey so that they can design a trial that's more accessible to the patient and family community to enhance participation and full enrollment in a timely manner.
Right. And actually, the registry is collaborating with us right now. And we've just developed a survey that I know we both hope to have live to the community in about a week. Do you want to take a minute to put a plug in for that?
So yes. So we will be through multiple different channels, through AFTD channels, through registry channels, and even using some partnering patient advocacy groups, sending out notices for the ability to participate in a survey that's designed in advance of a patient-focused drug development meeting with the FDA that's upcoming this March. And the very interesting thing about this survey is you don't have to be a registry participant. You don't have to sign up with a particular entity to participate. It's going to be open participation. You just reply to that link and you're going to be able to participate. So it's a wonderful, unique opportunity for everybody to be able to share their voice.
Right. And as Dianna mentioned, we're going to be taking all that data and presenting it to the FDA, which is a critical step forward in working with them as we are seeing more and more of these companies and trials emerge with the hope for the first approved treatments for FTD. So, well, Dianna and Lakecia, I want to thank you so much. This is incredibly informative. I encourage everybody listening to go to the registry website and to register, please, as research participants. It's just critical in terms of us as a whole community working together to advance the science. So thank you both for joining us on a Saturday, and take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.